Mark Carney just became the Prime Minister of Canada. Now, depending on who you voted for or who you were rooting for, you are either sad or happy. But let's be honest, nothing changes for you and me today. Because even if Pierre Poilievre was coming to power, groceries won't get cheaper suddenly. And a home won't magically appear on my doorstep tomorrow. Here's the brutal truth. No politician is coming to save you. Now, here's the thing. I also voted for change. I wanted Pierre Poilievre to win, and I was not politically aligned. I am very apolitical because I know that I am the Prime Minister of my life and only I can change my life situation. But I wanted to see what conservatives would do because I came in 2020, I'd only seen how liberals operate. And obviously, I was not happy like many other people. But I just wanted to understand, how conservatives would operate and wanted to experience that firsthand. But now I'm also, not opposed to seeing an economist run the country and see what changes and what he can do as an economist because he's not a politician. So either ways, I'm fine. Sure, I voted for Pierre and he didn't win. Am I sad about it? I'm not. And the reason I'm not is because I know that nothing changes for me personally. Even if there are tax cuts that would happen on either, Mark Carney said 1%, Pierre Poilievre said 2 to 3%. Even if they both implement that, it would not change my life because it only happens at the lowest tax bracket. My business won't change because no one talked about, how businesses would, be benefited from any of them coming to power. Homes, I talked about in my last video where I, discussed the manifestos, the platforms that homes, even though both are saying they'll build 250,000 homes or 500,000 homes, it does not matter because they're actually not targeting the right problem. The right problem to target would be that how do we build more single-family homes? And none of the people have actually, talked about that. So honestly, my life does not change. My homes are not going to get, cheaper. Maybe, one would argue that Pierre Poilievre, by building the energy pipelines and everything, he would have created more jobs. But again, creating more jobs in energy would again not impact me because I am not working in that sector. So honestly, irrespective of who comes, my life would not change today, just like my life never changed in the past when either parties were there. I was just, thankful that I'm in Canada, and that's about it, right? So like I just don't feel anything changes. Now, a lot of people have been saying that Mark Carney is against our home equities and he'll be taking out, taxes off the home equity. I don't think that can happen. And even if it does, it'll also make the interest and all the expenses, against your home tax deductible. That's what happens in the US. In US, when you sell your primary home, the gains in that get taxed. But that is compensated by when you pay a mortgage, the mortgage interest plus all other expenses like property taxes are also tax deductible. So you get a tax advantage on one side and they take a tax or a bigger piece when you sell the home. So I think it's unfair to assume that one of these things will only happen because that will be stupid. And I don't think anyone in their right mind, I hope no one in their right mind implements one side of the strategy without activating the second. The other thing that might impact you, that you feel, it impacts you, is all the inflation that has happened. Groceries have gotten expensive. Everything is getting more and more expensive. And honestly, that should not matter to you because I've never seen inflation go down. I've never, except if you're in Japan or, one of those countries, I have not seen things get cheaper unless it's attached to technology. But I don't see my bananas and my avocados getting cheaper anytime soon. Not if Carney comes to power, not if Pierre Poilievre would have come to power, because that's just not how it works. Even if inflation is 1%, even if inflation is 0.5%, that's 0.5% higher than last year. And that's how inflation works. And yes, one might argue that the affordability will be slightly better because the increments in prices will not be as high, but it will still be an increment. So all this to say that if we were thinking of a politician saving us from our situation, I think we are kidding ourselves. We have to make more money. We have to find a way of making more money. And if it means that you leave Canada and go to US or India, that's also in your hands and no one would care. Honestly, none of the politicians would care if you today get up and leave Canada. We need to shift our focus from what the government can do for me to what I can do for myself. And if you look around, you would see enough examples of people who have done really well, irrespective of whether they came in COVID or in a recession. And you would see many, many examples who have gone broke in both those situations. So, Mark Carney is the Prime Minister, but today I encourage you to make yourself the Prime Minister of your own life and take matters in your hands, because you are the only person that matters in your life. That's all I have for today. If you have not subscribed to the channel, I hope you do, because I'll be coming up with real strategies of how to make wealth irrespective of who is the Prime Minister of Canada. मिलते हैं अगली वीडियो में, तब तक के लिए बाय बाय.